Hi, welcome to my channel and to the Full Monty Show. Today's guests are a family of guns. They are the Type 81. I have the folder, the fixed, and the LMG. 4 years ago when I started the channel, my first video is field stripping of the Type 81 rifle. And I never had a chance to do the Full Monty, and so now I'm doing it, now that I have all three of them. So I'm going to do the field stripping first with the folder, and then I'm going to start removing stuff, parts from the fixed, and whatever remaining I'll do on the LMG. And I'll, at the same time, I'll talk about the differences between them. Okay, why don't we start with the field stripping of the folder. First, you need to remove the magazine, and you need to make sure your hammer is all the way back. And there's a latch at the top cover. You need to press that. Sometimes it's a little difficult to come out. You need a tool to help you push that in. Okay, like that. And then your top cover comes out. Then you pressed in about an inch of the recoil spring and then slide it out. Alright, then slide your carrier to the back and lift up. And then you can separate. Yeah, it's a little crowded on my table. Then you can slide the bolt all the way to the back and turn counterclockwise when you're looking at it, and then slide the bolt forward. That's your bolt. There's no spring in the firing pin. Okay, it's free floating. Let's put that there, and this is the carrier. Okay. Next is the removal of the top handguard. And what you do is that you have to turn the sights, the rear sight. And how you do it is that there's numbers on that, and you're facing, numbers facing to the back. And you need to, on the right side, you need to rotate clockwise. And that's important because the LMG is the reverse. Okay, so if you're looking from the right side, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, but to remove the top handguard, you turn counterclockwise to 5, and then you pull the left dial. Okay, the left dial. Left dial, and then rotate counterclockwise about a quarter of a turn, and then you can see there's a flat area, and then the handguard comes up. Okay. Next, to remove the piston, turn this piston extension either to the right or to the left, don't make any difference. Pull it back about an inch, lift it up, and then let it slide forward. And you will have the piston extension, which is right here. That's the piston, and the piston spring will all come out. Okay. Now, the next thing you do is remove the cleaning rod. And to do that, you pull down on the cleaning rod, okay, and then move it forward, like that. Okay, this is as far as you go when it comes to field stripping. So when it comes to field stripping, you're done. Now let's talk about the loose handguard with these red furniture. There's lots of complaints about the top handguard being very loose, and mine, I don't know about yours, mine does move up and down about, so 2 millimeter movement when it's at dials at 5 facing towards me. But when I start turning it to 4, it only moves 1 millimeter. And so that's okay for me. Now some people has complained it moved far more than the 2 millimeter. So I can see where that is a concern. But for me, a movement of 2 millimeter is not a concern, and it's only at the dial when it's set at 5. The rest of the time when it's set at 4, 3, 2, and 1, it only moves about 1 millimeter, like that. So it's not a concern, so it's not a big deal. Now, when it comes to movement of the LMG, the handguard does move 1 millimeter, but it's throughout the whole dial, so it doesn't change at all. This one, it's only on 5 does it change from 1 millimeter up to 2 millimeter. Now we can start the full Monty. And to start the full Monty, let me start from the back and work my way to the front. And for the folder to remove the cleaning kit, it's right back here. And you see this little lug up there. Press it forward. Okay. Press it forward and pull it down. Sometimes it needs a little helping hand, like push it back and press it down, and then here it comes out. And that is your folder cleaning kit. Okay, and now to remove the cheek rest, there is a lock on the left side of the cheek rest. You need to use a screwdriver and a flashlight and pull it down. Okay, so you need to pull it downwards. Once you've done that, then you need a screwdriver and to unscrew this forward screw. Okay. And that's the screw. And on the other side is a nut which is embedded into the cheek rest. And now you can separate the left cheek rest. Yep, there it is. And I'll show you that locking device that I use a flashlight to press down, and this is it. To unlock it, I press this lever down, and to lock it, I press this lever up. Okay, down to open, to remove, up to lock it in place. Okay, and then to remove the right cheek rest, now it's a little further back, a little further in, so that's why you remove the left one first, because it's closer. Well, actually it's almost identical. It is actually in the same location, but it does not have a lever. Okay, you see that lever? The right cheek rest does not have the lever. The left one does. So you use the same screwdriver and you pull it. You see if you could pull it forward. You turn it clockwise. Got it. Okay. There's the difference. Left cheek rest, right cheek rest. The left has the lever, The right does not. And then the spring slides, but the plate slides back. Okay. Now, can you remove the folder? Can you remove the folder? No, you cannot. And the reason why is because it's attached to the rear trunnion. This is the rear trunnion, and this folding mechanism is attached to it. And there's just no way around it. And this folding part, the stock itself, is riveted to the main mechanism. So there's no way you could actually even remove it. So as okay, so one more thing, when it comes to this newer edition that's comes in redwood, they have the selector on the right side, and it's right now on F, and you have to turn it 180 degrees to go to S. Alright, and it's not very smooth. It's quite gritty. And they also put optic ready screws, and these one has threads in it, and they protrude on the left side. Now some of you guys have been cutting that off. I would strongly suggest you don't do that, because one day somebody is going to make a plate that's compatible to the AK and the VZ58. So don't cut them, because you'll need them someday. Hopefully somebody else would do it, because the dealer who sold these rifles, they no longer supply or sell the optic, the Picatinny side rail for this rifle. So it's a very short-lived supply. So, but they did have hundreds of these optic ready rifles with these protruding screws with the threads in them, and the selector on the right side. So hopefully somebody will make a plate. All we need is a plate. There's plenty of mounts, you know, you can buy, plenty of rails you can buy, all sorts. You can even use VZ58's rails. So yeah, we just need the plate. So somebody will hopefully do it. And it also, the receiver is similar to LMG, except for the location of these holes. Otherwise, the whole receiver here and the grip and the internal mechanism is identical to the LMG. Okay, but that's about what the similarity between the fix and the LMG is, just this part. All right, and after that, from here on forward, completely different, and then from here to the back, completely different. So why don't we start? Let me finish doing the fuel stripping on this, and then I'll come back. Okay, I'm back, and this is the fix. The first thing we do is talk about the cleaning kit, and the cleaning kit is in this trap door. Okay, be careful, because it's spring-loaded, and that is your cleaning kit. Alright, next time I'll use a tool to press that in. Okay, but I can push it in, and again this time I'm going to use a tool. Oh, I forgot to remove the swivel and the butt plate for the fixed stock, and it's pretty simple. It's these two screws on the side. I already started already, and there's the swivel plate, swivel itself, and the two screws. Alright, and the butt plate, it's first remove the cleaning kit. Make life a little easier if you do that, and just remove these two screws. And let's compare these two screws to the swivel screws. Okay, the butt plate screw is longer. Alright, so the shorter one is with swivel, the longer one is with the butt plate, and then this butt plate comes out. This is very much like the SKS butt plate. I'm not even sure it's the same size, but I know the system is the same thing. Okay, this is the trap door, this is the plate. Okay, that's where the cleaning kit is. To remove the buttstock, you need to punch these pins out. I already showed it to you, there's 2 of them. And once you've done that, what you do is take a metal rod and push it, place it at an angle like this, and then use a mallet or a hammer to hammer it out. Okay, let's see if I can do this. There it is. Because I already did it before, and so it came out easily. So, this is what it looks like. Okay, the next thing we remove is the grip. Now, some of you with the LMGs are having a hard time removing the grip because the top part of the screw apparently was peened, and so therefore you might have to drill the top part of the screw. And also the head of the screw is really buggered up. It doesn't really match anything. The Phillips doesn't work, and even the straight edge isn't deep enough. But if you ever manage to remove it, please use a Dremel and make it deeper, okay? Which I have. Okay, it's usually not this simple because I already did it once before. Okay, so when you remove the grip, a nut will fall out, and then a screw will come out. And like I said, once I remove this, I actually use a Dremel and put a deeper groove in it just to be easier for me to remove it. Otherwise, the straight edge is too shallow and the Phillips doesn't even really work. So, that's a grip. Okay. Now, a lot of you are wondering, like, biggest question gets asked all the time, oh, will the AK-47 grip fit? It does not. Would a Hodge grip fit? It would not, because they are completely different design. And here is what I mean. This is an AK-47 grip. And look at the difference in the top. Okay. The only way you're going to make it fit is either you modify this severely or remove the plate. I would suggest you don't remove the plate. Okay. If you really have to have this, then bugger it up. Otherwise, this looks freaking weird, okay, with that plate sitting on top of the plate. That's not a good thing. If you really want to replace this, please use a VZ58, because they're almost the same shape. Look at that. All you need to do is 1 minute to file back here, and it'll fit in place. Okay, here's another VZ58. Look, even the shape is almost similar. Okay, the only thing you need to do is back here, file, just like 1 minute of filing, it'll fit. VZ58, not the AK-47. I never had so much problem removing the lower handguard as I do with this redwood. Not just the fixed dog, but also the folder. Both of them, I couldn't remove the screw. I put acetone on it, and just wouldn't budge one bit. And I have a funny feeling I can see the problem is that they had some of this red stain or shellac or whatever, and they didn't wait for it to dry completely, and they just screwed that in. And that's what the problem is. I've tried removing it, and it just wouldn't turn. My only choice now is find a way to deepen that that straight edge screw head, and then do it that way. But for now, I cannot remove this, and instead I will do it by showing you on the LMG. Now the removal is the same, but you can see the handguard itself is completely different. The handguard is not interchangeable. They do not fit each other. This is more squarish and this is more rounder down here. So they're not interchangeable. But the removal is the same. As you can see, the finishing on the wood is on the wood and nothing on the screw. And over here you can see it's very shiny. It's as if the stain or the shellac or the varnish from the stock got onto the screw, and both of them are like that. The folder and the fixed is identical, and now I can't even remove it. Okay, so to remove the lower handguard, just unscrew. That's it. Pretty simple. Okay, and that's what the screw looks like. But before you start pulling this down, always remove the cleaning rod. And then basically it comes down, the back end comes out first, downwards. Okay. Now some of you may have problems removing the lower handguard, and that's normal. What you do is take a block of wood and place it on top, okay, over here at the exposed area, and gently tap it with a mallet. Okay, just gently tap it, but tap the back end with a block of wood and nothing else, not with a punch or anything like that. So that's how you remove the lower handguard, since this one is not removable. What a pain. So the next thing that is removed is the grenade launcher. Now I don't need to show you how to do that because I already have a video, and I'll attach it to the in the description, how to remove the grenade launcher. But once you remove the grenade launcher, this is what it looks like. Now I do have intentions of threading the muzzle, so I could put a flash hider. I just like the look of it. Okay, so that brings us to the end of full Monty on the rifles. Now also the FCG and the bolt disassembly, again I have it on a separate video, so again I'll attach that to the description. But when it comes to the rifle, the full Monty, this is as far as you go. You're completely done. Now the difference between, obviously difference between the LMG and the rifles are pretty obvious, but they are removed the same way. Okay, let's remove this and let's make some space. Same. Let's start with the cleaning kit. The cleaning kit on the LMG, there's a little locking spring here. Pull it downwards, okay, and pivot this plate. There it is. And this, pivoting this plate, you should be able to drop. There is a cleaning kit in there. Now it's in there pretty good. Let's see if we can pry that out. There it is. And this is quite a complete kit. I like this kit. It also has believe it or not, it also has a casing split casing extractor. Love this kit. Okay, let's put that, and then when I'm done, okay, I'm done, I'll put that back in. It's not spring loaded, by the way, that's why it's such a pain. You just pivot that plate and you're locked. To remove this butt plate, you need to unscrew these two screws, one at the bottom and one on the right side, and you need a special screwdriver for that. And I made myself a 2-prong screwdriver. Okay, and the right side was pretty easy because it wasn't peen, but the bottom one was peen, so that was a little bit difficult. And you just basically turn. Okay. And then this swivel falls off on the other side. Let me flip this over. Okay. Take a good look. This goes in here like that. And then this, actually it's a nut, goes like that. And the center of the screw comes through, and that's why you need a 2-prong screwdriver. Oops. 2-prong screwdriver to remove this nut. And same thing goes for the lower one right here. With this lower one, I already mangled it a bit because it was peen, so I had to drill it, but it's the same thing. Okay. You turn, and if the screws start to turn along with the nut, then open the trap door, and you can see there's a screw head at the bottom of the screw. So just stick a screwdriver in here, it's a straight edge, and stop it from turning, and then you have to, let's see if I could do it without it. Stick my hand in there and turn this. Okay, there it is. And here comes your butt plate, LMG butt plate. And this is your trapdoor lock, and this is where it goes in. Like I said, the bottom one was peen, so I had to drill it out, and I also deepened the slot. So that's where it is, and that takes care of that. Okay, oh, by the way, ignore this the side mount. That's the VZ58 side mount that I put in myself, so just ignore that. That doesn't come with the rifle. Next is the rear sight. Let's talk about it, because remember I said the rifle, the numbers turn counterclockwise to increase, but with the LMG it's the reverse. It's clockwise to increase the number to 5, and that is directly facing you. And then you pull the left dial and then rotate it about a quarter of a turn, and then the handguard comes up. Okay. Also, what's different about this rear sight is that it has a carrying handle. A lot of people want to remove the carrying handle, and the way to do that is that, again, what I did is use a drill, and this part, it was a rivet right here, and I used a I would say about about a 1/4 of an inch screw, no, 1/4 inch drill bit, and I unflared the end of that rivet. And then after that, I didn't even have to go all the way through, and then I just use a hammer and a punch, and I punch that carrying handle out. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Here, like this. Obviously I can't stand it up, so I'm just going to show you this way. So, like that. And there's your rivet. And see, the end was flared, but I drilled that. And then lift up the carrying handle, and there's a spring attached to it. Okay. Now there's a bracket for the carrying handle, and it sits right here to the sight block, but I would not suggest you try to remove that, because I did try once that it's easy to remove this screw. The screw that attaches part of the bracket, but this rivet is inside the sight block, and to get at it you have to disassemble the sight block itself, the whole sight, and so therefore I'm not willing to do that. This is as far as I want to go. Okay, so the carrying handle, how to remove, is done this way. Next thing, okay, we talked about the lower handguard. Now another common thing a lot of people want to do is remove the bipod. And to do the bipod, you need a 3mm punch, not a 2.5. This is 2.5. You need a 3mm. Why? Is because this is a roll pin, and if you have a 2.5mm, it tends to go inside the roll pin and mangle it up. So you need exactly 3mm. But since I already partially removed it before, I can use the 2.5. But for me to do 2.5 and not end up inside the roll pin, I'm just going to have to point it towards the edge. Okay, first I'm going to remove the muzzle thread protector. That's all it is. Oh, by the way, the muzzle thread is this one is 16x1 metric, right hand, and there's no muzzle brake or flash hider made for M16x1 at all. So what you need is an adapter, and I do have an adapter here, and I will. Where is my adapter? And here is the adapter. This is adapter for the 16x1 right hand, and then it adapts to 5/8. Okay, so for 16x1 right hand, you need an adapter. And then the second shipment of these, it came in an M14x1 right hand, which is the Visa 58 right hand threading. So you don't need an adapter. You just get a Visa 58 flash hider or a brake, and you just directly attach to that. Okay, now going back to the how to remove the bipod, and first you remove that, and then stick. Now always do it from front to back. Okay. And don't punch the pin all the way out. Okay, now this one, my punch is in there stuck, so I need to wiggle it out. Okay, here it comes. Okay, so this is as far as you want to push the pin. Leave it, part of it, holding in. Okay, don't punch it all the way out. Only is enough just to remove one side of the flap. And that's it. Okay, leave this in place. Otherwise, you're going to end up losing this pin. As you can see, it's a roll pin, and that's why it's important that you get an exact 3 millimeter, 2.5 millimeter punch. You'll end up going inside the pin. So that's it. Okay, so that's basically completes the full Monty on the Type 81 family. I don't think I'm missing anything, and that's it. And to put all back is just the reverse. So I'm not gonna bother showing you how to put it back. Otherwise this video is going to be very, very long. So thank you very much for joining me, and please subscribe.